Back several years ago, I was in a hunting club up in the big town of Walker County. Well, several of us were in a little clique, and we liked playing jokes and talking crap all the time, and we decided to pull this little old trick on somebody. I got an old telephone crank that belonged to my granddaddy. Well, we decided to wire one of the seats in the clubhouse, so if somebody sat down, we could hide over in a corner and crank it and shock the piss out of them. Well, we fumbled around in the clubhouse as quiet as we could for several hours trying to rig it up. Never could get anything that would work. So, kind of running out of time, we decided to wire the seat in the outhouse. Went in there and stripped a couple of the wires and ran them through a hole in the wall and wrapped them over each side of the toilet seat. Hid the crank out in the woods. Well, the next morning, everybody's milling around. There's one particular guy we really wanted to shock. For some reason, he never would go to the outhouse. Well, like I say, it was starting to get light. Before long, you'd be able to see the box, and then you'd be able to see the wires. First unsuspecting victim that went in there was going to have to be hit. Well, it didn't take long, and this one fellow, he was a pretty good guy. Still is, as far as I know. Anyway, he went in there. I gave him about a minute to get set down and sneaked over there to the box. And I was only going to crank it just a little bit because that thing will knock the hell out of you. So anyway, I guess the devil got a hold of my hand, and I went to cranking. And every time my hand made a revolution, we could hear a hoo, hoo, hoo coming out of the house. And then wham! The whole outhouse shook. Well, I dropped the box as quick as I could without looking suspicious. I jumped over in a group of people, kind of watching out the corner of my eye to see the fella come out of the outhouse. It didn't take long. He came out, holding the front of his pants up, walking real fast towards his camper with his head down, muttering something about some sumbitch is playing, it ain't funny. Well, anyway, after a couple of weeks of complete silence, he finally started speaking to several of us again, and he told us what he thought had happened. He sat down, and a bunch of yellow jackets went to stinging him on the ass. Well, I don't think to this day that he thinks it's funny at all. I think it's pretty doggone hilarious myself. But, anyway, you gotta be careful where you sit down with your britches down. Later.